What is up, Divergent friends? And welcome to Cognitive Dissonance, the channel where we look at the insanity surrounding us. I'm Loyal to the Foil, and we have got some crazy shit to talk about today. So, for anybody that's been following even mainstream news, okay, and particularly if you are on the East Coast, then you are aware of the very 1970s, very Jimmy Carter-esque scenes that have been playing out this week at gas stations in multiple states. Okay, long lines where there is gas pumps covered where there isn't gas, even a fight or two at the local Circle K. No cap. Saw the shit myself. Okay, I saw this happen. So, Friday night, Colonial Pipeline, which is the pipeline responsible for the distribution of 45% of the gasoline along the East Coast, was apparently the victim of a ransomware cyber attack. Okay, these kinds of attacks are becoming increasingly more popular, and they can hold a computer system hostage until a ransom is paid. So, to contain the damage, Colonial shut their entire system almost completely down. This, in turn, led to the largest U.S. refinery also having to shut down 2 of their crude distillation units. And considering the supply chain issues that we are already having, okay, in a number of areas, from freaking lumber to chicken, all right, this has only added to the chaos. Biden initially came out and said that there was no gas shortage, guys, which is horseshit. Let me clue you in. There may not be a shortage of actual gasoline, but if you can't deliver it, if you can't distribute it, then it's a freaking shortage. Okay, Sleepy Joe, people aren't worried about whether there is actual gas. People are trying to get to work, even though sometimes I feel like maybe they don't want us going to work. But that's a different video entirely. So in any case, as of Monday, the FBI, which is an organization that is just clearly at the top of their game, okay? They claimed that the responsibility for the attack fell on a Russian criminal hacking group known as the Dark Side. It sounds very ominous. Now no worries, people, no worries, because Biden says this wasn't the Russian government, all right? Never mind the fact that a lot of the foreign groups like this, if not directly sanctioned and funded by their governments, are at least using this shit as a side hustle that their governments have given tacit approval to, while many work directly for these same governments by day. Okay, they moonlight nonetheless. In what is clearly the single most ridiculous statement by a criminal organization in the history of history, Darkside apparently posted on their website that it was not their intent to participate in geopolitics at all, that there was no need to try and tie them to any defined government, okay? And then also, from now on, they'll try to exercise some moderation. They'll check the companies they're going to rob just to make sure there's no geopolitical implications there. Is anybody buying this? I mean, anybody aside from the Biden admin? I don't even think they believe it. Okay, but they're going to make sure the media feeds it to you, though. Now, some outlets are estimating that there could be a crisis lasting throughout the week, and several states have already issued emergency declarations. Now, the Colonial situation itself only serves to highlight a growing problem in cybersecurity that was recently brought to the forefront of international news with the SolarWinds hack, which is also being blamed on Russia. Although, not gonna lie, I have my doubts. However, SolarWinds is a Texas company that literally helps tens of thousands of businesses, even the U.S. government, manage their IT resources. The hack itself, honestly, was very cleverly done. Okay, it literally escaped notice for months. It was sent out, there was malicious code that was sent out in software updates, and that code put back doors into the systems of these companies, which allowed in turn for the installation of even more malicious code. Um, in short, it was a shit show, guys. 20% of the organizations that were targeted were literal governmental entities, including the Department of Energy and our Nuclear Security Administration. I mean, this went on for 9 months. And honestly, we still don't know the full extent of the freaking breach. This was one of the biggest hacks in history. I mean, no joke. No joke. Um, I mean, clearly this has potentially horrible ramifications for the nation's infrastructure. All right, it's such a shame that Biden is pushing an infrastructure bill that kind of looks like the Green New Deal repackaged, although it doesn't really do much for actual infrastructure at all. Although cyber infrastructure is the topic here, so we're going to stick with that. Now, it is also in a very sad state. I mean, please understand, guys, there are literally millions of cyber attacks every day, as you can see here behind me. All right, the biggest players are constantly at each other. Um, we hear about very few of these. I mean, relatively little is actually brought to our attention. Apparently, our offensive capabilities here in the US are good, but our defense is, as we can see, especially with respect, I mean, this is a major issue. This is a major issue with respect to critical infrastructure. Um, our critical infrastructure systems, they tend to be very old and running on very old tech. I mean, most of our banking system still runs on COBOL, which is from the 70s and 80s, guys. And while we've got nations like Russia and China that have been constantly upgrading all aspects of their infrastructure, um, seeing it as a potential security and military concern, unfortunately, the U.S. is lagging here also. But fear not. Enter the World Economic Forum and Dr. Evil himself, Klaus Schwab, who has a plan. Okay, guys? He's got a plan for us. For those of you that don't know, Klaus Schwab is literally the poster boy for the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. Um, he and his Build Back Better crew have been advocating for a restructuring of the entire global system, creating narratives that are suspiciously in line with Agenda 2030. And they co-sign things like lab meat and the redefinition of the social contract. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all that here. If you're interested, I did a series of videos on Klaus and on the Davos agenda that you can find on any of my, on my channel, on any of the platforms. What I am interested in is the World Economic Forum's Center for Cybersecurity and their efforts at preventing what they are calling the next pandemic. All right. In his book, where he talks about what he calls the fourth industrial revolution, Klaus points out that with increased systems integration and increased globalization, we're at increased risk for cyber attacks, which happens to be about one of the only points I agree with him on. And guys, it's not that I question the reality of these attacks, okay, but I do question the narrative on their perpetrators and the motives that they give. Now, in response to this, the World Economic Forum has created, dun dun dun, their Center for Cybersecurity. Okay, let me just give you a little glimpse here. Only together, guys, only together can we defend ourselves against these cyber attacks, right? For these people, the answer is always centralizing control. I have major freaking issues with this. I mean, if increased integration and exposure increases the level of probable issues, it seems to me that the answer should not be to give increased control or any kind of like unilateral power to some unelected attempt at global governance. All right, mind you, I'm not against the sharing of ideas and information. I am against the relinquishing of control to these entities. I'm against the relinquishing of control to these entities. Okay, the World Economic Forum, these guys have had multiple panels and discussions on the proliferation of cyber threats. Most recently at their Davos conference this year, Klaus has long been predicting, right? Long been predicting that we are highly vulnerable to a new sort of pandemic, and one with coronavirus like properties, mind you, a cyber pandemic, if you will. A virus that would spread so fast it would potentially decimate the way we live our lives. All right, listen to what he has to say.
This paradigm shift to digital has made the role of cybersecurity as a global public good even more pronounced. It serves as an enabler for business continuity and the silver thread for our connectivity. Yet, as businesses and organizations are putting great efforts to serve their customers, deliver essential services, and protect their employees amidst the pandemic, cyber criminals have also been quick to exploit the increased vulnerabilities and the increased use that came along. The World Economic Forum recently published the COVID-19 risks outlook. The third greatest concern for companies surveyed is the increase of cyber attacks. We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. We have to ask ourselves in such a situation, how could we let this happen? Despite the fact we had all the information about the possibility and the seriousness of a risk attack. Cybercrime and global cooperation should be at the forefront of the global agenda. The grim reality is that cybercrime today is definitively a growth industry. It has significant financial costs to the global economy, but it has also important indirect costs. It can undermine the public confidence in digital transformation and therefore into the overall trustfulness of a society.
Oh, God forbid we don't trust it anymore. Apparently, this would make our current situation seem like a trifle, guys. It would be a mere trifle. So, don't dismay, even though he's telling you about this grim future we face, right? Because in preparation for this, much in the same way our current health crisis was war gamed out with Event 201, the World Economic Forum will be hosting Cyber Polygon 2021 in July of this year. Now, this is an annually hosted event that is supposed to train global organizations on threats and responses to this coming cyber pandemic, hosting top level analysts from around the world. The Polygon will be a completely simulated event in preparedness, guys, with a variety of speakers and panels. They really want to put a lot of thought into this.
2020 is a year that has really changed the world. It is thanks to technology that we are able to join the cyber polygon entirely remotely.
This training is another step in creating a trusted digital environment and fostering open dialogue to discuss even the most challenging cybersecurity issues.
Nobody can fight these phenomena, which are only going to increase in the next couple of years in this dynamic technological environment.
As this world grows in force, and this happens throughout the world, it's just a statement of the obvious. You need to protect people properly.
Don't you worry. Breathe in the fear, guys, because that's what they want. But it's all under control. We've got Cyber Polygon going on, and I'm sure this will just be another strange simulation. I just want to point out, it was like magic, okay, how on point Event 201 was with the current health crisis that we are watching unfold. I cannot help but wonder how close to reality this event will be. You guys know that I'm a realist, and when these people talk, I listen. Because for some reason, it seems like if you know where to look, you can always see what's coming. Well, that's it. That's what I got for you today. If you like my content, you can support me directly at loyal2ThaFoil.com or with Cash App. My links are in the description below. Also, I am powered by Beard Vet Coffee, yo. You can go to beardvet.com, get your coffee, your super manly beard supplies, use promo code SFN at checkout for 10% off. It's nice, veteran owned. A portion of the proceeds support their veteran charity of the month, which is super awesome. You can also go over and check me out on Rokfin. Guys, if you have not gone to Rokfin yet, go over, make the free account. Follow me there. If you're feeling froggy, subscribe through my channel. You get access to all the premium content on the site. There are a ton of good creators over there. Jason Burmas, Alara's over there, Sam Tripoli. If you like sports, there's a ton of sports stuff. Take your pick. It's all on Rokfin. Go make the free account. If you subscribe through my channel, again, you get all the premium content. Check it out. Check it out. Check out my new show with Tyler Koala from Journey to Truth every Friday at 8. We do conspiracy theory trivia. Everything you never wanted to know, right? And don't forget to check us out Sunday on 1 Foot in 5D for Space Force News. We are back this week, Space Force News 2.0, revamped, rebooted, ready to go. Can't wait to see you guys there. Much love and stay loyal.